WV Uncommon Place. This podcast is a variety podcast that houses numerous series to cover mental health, empowerment, podcast framework, and various intimate series to get to know the hosts. Along with occasional movies reviews and dives in pop culture with our event podcast episodes. The Uncommon Place digs into bringing guests on that stories don't fit the mold and are very different. WV stands for the great state of West Virginia, and every quarter we cover something in West Virginia. Stacy and myself, JR, are your hosts, so please come along for this venture to our Uncommon Place.
Welcome to West Virginia Uncommon Place. It's me, JR. I'm back. This is another episode that I'm doing. This actually is going to be the demo number 6. And with this one, the setup's different. It's the iPad, the microphone, and the Zoom recorder all doing a crazy little number here. And I'm just trying to get it to sound like it should. It's got a little air conditioning running in the background. So the topics we'll talk about is just podcasting in general, like we always do. I've been living my best life inside podcasting right now. I'm not really doing too much beyond making my own shows. I'm not collaborating. I'm not doing anything like out the way. We have the Ascended Dimension podcast with Amy, then the archival podcast, West Virginia Commonplace Presents a collection. Mainly just getting things focused for next year because, we're at the end of the year and, everybody knows I have a boatload of episodes. So it's not even that. It's one of these things like I'm still creative, but my creative juices are not pumping like they were before. Not pod fade, not quitting, nothing like that, because I got too many episodes to quit. And I still like podcasting. It's been one of these things where it's like, do I really want to put out that kind of show? And the answer has been no. Am I still recording with guests? I would say this on Tuesdays, if you're willing to record with me, it's after 5 o'clock EST, I'm down to do a show. If it's not on Tuesday, there's no show coming out of me whatsoever. Because Stacy has my Thursdays, which I'm out of town today, so obviously we don't have to worry about that. But when I am with her, those are the things you have to worry about. And I am using the amazing Zoom mic. Still trying to get it fixed properly. You see me adjusting it a little bit, getting that sound to come out different. And I got the windshield on it. I haven't taken the windscreen. I haven't taken it off at all. And I'll just say, like me personally, I've had a change in my job, so I'm on the road a little bit more than I like. So that's why I kind of got my guests into. Excuse me, I'm trying to focus it in. I've got my guests kind of to a minimum until we get I get settled back in, and then in December, like on the 20th, for example, I'm going to do a bunch of shows that day. Don't know when they're coming out, but they'll be out at some point. And I'm just like I'm in that process where you're like, I'm trying to fine tune things and get things set up good for next year. And I want to cover different topics. I want to always cover the same boring shit because it gets old. And it's a few podcasters I want to work with on some storyboard episodes that I have out. Have in my mind that I want them for, and just trying to figure out a way to do these shows with people in the wintertime before it gets summertime and people have excuses for staying inside or this and that. So just trying to work that out. And once I get that worked out, I'll be good to go. But outside of that, that's really all that's going on right now with the podcast. Podcast is doing well, continuing to grow. That's the main thing. That's the thing that hurts some people in podcasting, because we're not talking about numbers. We're just talking about your podcast growing, getting new listeners, keeping loyal listeners and things like that. Getting ready for Wakanda Forever. That's going to be big. Shout out to all the movie review podcasts out there. Definitely do your thing. And a big shout out to 4 Too Many Podcasts. I got to catch up with those guys at some point. Cleveland's finest podcast out there. Inspired Chats, Akron, Stand Up, and a slew of other ones. Definitely do want to put this in here. These are some podcasts that I do like. Too Much Game Podcast. Aging Immaturely, so many podcasts, Throwcast, if you get a chance to listen to that, that's one that will put you in a different perspective. Just like Too Much Game, they both spit some stuff that ridiculous. The 100 podcast, he calls it something else. Hoochie Henderson and his crew, those Nashville boys that are really in Virginia, and Lucille Cody's podcast, Aaron's podcast, most definitely. Oh, excuse me, I normally don't yawn. I'm a little tired, but quite a few that I'm still listening to. If you get a chance, check out, the ones that I shout out. You see them in my Instagram stories, so you'll definitely know there. I think the most challenging thing that has happened with me in this, what I call a break of podcasting, has been that I've basically been playing video games. Like I play Fist of the North Star on PlayStation 5, which is a PlayStation 4 game, but it's made by Sega. And it's like the Yakuza games or whatever they're called, Yakuza. So that's what I've been doing in my spare time. Got the Madden, about to get the NBA so I can be hoochie. I'm a cheapskate, so I don't buy games until, it's time to get them on Black Friday. If I can't get them cheap, I don't want them. I'm not spending $70 on a game. That's just, it has to be something I really like. And I like with media and stuff like that, no, not happening. I'll put some money into it, and then got to get ready for the local artists and different things that are going to be going on for the holidays. So that's another big thing that got to get into and start getting a little bit more strenuous and tough in. But other than that, this is the Demo 6. I was just testing out the little portable setup, see how it sounds, see if it's something that I want to keep doing. And the arrangement is this. I'm using Zoom at the moment, which I could use Riverside and something else, but I have to go through Chrome, put it on my iPad, blah, 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 blah. Using Zoom, recording setting, I've got the mic set at like 8. I'm really not that far from the mic at all. And I have all my prefixes for my audio interface just set up, and I'm just talking. Nothing extra. Got a little Bluetooth keyboard, so kind of like a nice little setup. So thank you guys for following the podcast. Thank you for following Ascension Dimension, and most definitely this. I want to thank everybody that has supported us from day 1 to day 10 to day 20, whatever day you got us in your persuasion. And definitely get out here and listen to some great podcasts. It's almost winter time. Time rolls back soon. All right, everyone, this is JR from West Virginia Uncommonplace, and I am signing off.
Please follow WV Uncommonplace on Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, TikTok, where we have some great content, Facebook, LinkedIn. Hit up the merch store at oncommonplace.square.site. Join the email list from the website, and rate, subscribe, and give feedback from your favorite podcatcher. And lastly, thanks for listening, and tune into the next episode.